sister channel of the Gateway podcast, where we will be talking everything and anything about music. We'll be talking about rock, metal, heavy metal, jazz, Bollywood, literally everything and anything about music that influenced us in our entire lives. And please welcome my co host.
Hi, I'm Nirupama. I'm a vocalist. I've learned music, classical music, for probably about 16 years, and I listen to a whole lot of whole variety of or genres of music. And you're Ashish. You forgot to say that.
Yes, I'm Ashish. Most of you listening to this would know me from the Gateway podcast as well. So, hi. Okay. All right. To start with, our favorite genres. So, what's your favorite genre? Which
Um,
particular genre, or is it just a wide range?
I think anything that's very instrumental, probably rock, soft rock, hard rock, metal, heavy metal. I like jazz. Some types of country. What about you?
Pretty much similar. I like most instrumental music. I I also like stuff where you kind of understand the feel behind the song almost immediately.
That's cool. Who are your favorite artists or your favorite bands?
Artist or band, like individual or groups, like
Let's go with both. Let's start with artists.
artist. Michael Jackson. Like the art, sort of okay about the person.
That's
Uh,
most of us.
I yeah, especially now.
Hmm.
Uh, I like System of a Down. I like Slipknot. I like the Bee Gees. I like.
I've been listening to a lot of them recently.
You like?
The
What?
Bee Gees. I've been listening to a lot of the Bee Gees recently.
Yeah, the Bee Gees were in the same era as the Beatles, but they don't have that kind of popularity yet, and that to me is like a
Hmm.
huge shame because the Bee Gees are like so good,
Mm-hmm.
especially like if you look at some of their older records, right, where they're just like three brothers just singing their heart out. It's like so good, and
Mm-hmm.
yet it's usually like the Beatles that just overshadows them
I actually
completely.
thought the Bee Gees were probably the 80s, which is a little after the Beatles.
No, no. So the Bee Gees the Bee Gees essentially were five people. They were created as like a rival to the Beatles.
Ah, interesting.
So like how how now we have these K-pop groups where they're everywhere.
Right.
Yeah. So
BTS
like
and
yes, yeah. So they started initially with like one big group, and now everyone is kind of doing the same thing, right? And
mm-hmm.
even like boy group and girl groups like that.
Right.
So
So
similarly, like
Bee Gees were.
yeah, so the Beatles was like the first big group of like these four people that came together. All of them were famous. All of them would kind of put their vocals in as well. And
Mm-hmm.
based on them, you had like 100,000 different groups being made at that time. And the
Mm-hmm.
and the Bee Gees was like probably the best of all these groups.
Mm-hmm. Right.
How
That's
about you? Uh,
um.
your favorite artist?
I think my favorite individual artists. Most of the artists and most of the music I listen to are from bands. So I think I'm just going to skip the artist question and move on to the bands. I really like Zeppelin, Opeth, Floyd, RHCP. Really like them. Um, and if we're looking at probably a little more informal sort of music, I'd have to say Davy 504.
What's the one band that you listen to that nobody knows of, but you think everyone should know of?
I was listening to a lot of the F16s a little bit before they got very popular. So F16s is this indie alternative band, and like I just started listening to them because I don't know of some YouTube recommendation. Yeah, I remember seeing that music video on VH1, and
Hmm.
I started listening to them from there. And I mean, I just it caught on, and then they became insanely famous, and I was like, wow, okay. But if you're asking me about a band that I listen to right now, which is not very popular, I'm really not so sure about that actually.
Really, no bands?
I mean, most of the bands I listen to are like Zeppelin and Floyd, and you know, they're
Hmm.
insanely popular. Um,
Yeah. No, but there must be something like where you heard a song and like it's essentially songs that you think are amazing that not enough people listen to them.
I think Project Mushroom, definitely Project Mushroom. So they're this
Project.
Indian metal band
Hmm.
that was formed in Bangalore, and they're insanely good. So I attended a live concert of them in I think probably 6 months ago, and they were really good. They've been getting a lot of mentions by a lot of international artists also recently.
Was
But
this
I
the
think
one where you went to the mall and
yes,
you were the
yes,
only person who was
yes,
headbanging?
this is the one. This is the one.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
front row, headbanging. Everybody deems me crazy, but I'm like, okay, cool.
No, but like that is the joy of metal, like, especially if you go to a concert where everyone's a metalhead. Just getting in the middle of the crowd and just headbanging till you die is the best feeling.
Yeah, there actually is. I mean,
Headache sucks though.
oh yeah, I mean, that is a problem we all deal with later.
Yeah,
I really like
people sometimes.
Agam too, but a lot of people listen to Agam. So,
Hmm.
what about you? What's that one band that nobody's heard of?
Uh, okay, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna say two. There's a band called Hailang, which
Okay.
is this sort of Norwegian throat singing band, and
Mm-hmm.
they are just like kick ass, and they are big, but like they're not big, like huge, and uh, given how similar bands to them are very huge, I
Mm-hmm.
thought like these guys are so different, so unique, and their stage shows are like brilliant.
Okay.
And another one is a guy called Kenshi Yonezu. He's this Japanese guy. He does music for anime and stuff like that. Most
Mm-hmm.
anime fans should know him, but I still think more people should listen to his music. Like his voice is super unique. I've never heard anybody like him. And yeah, those two
I
people.
think there was this one music director I heard. He had a couple of songs of Westworld. His name is Ramin Djawadi. I'm not sure whether I'm
Oh,
pronouncing it right.
he was on GOT.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it?
yeah. He. The only reason I know this is because he had a song with
Right, right. He was on. He was on. I mean, I think the Light
yeah,
of the Seven or something, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I really like his music a lot.
Mm. It, it's very instrumental. It's almost like a huge stage show kind
Yes.
of one.
Yeah. And yeah, I think video game music is like a thing of sorts.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, actually, talking about video game music, this month is huge because you have two games with like amazing music in the Final Fantasy VII remake and in Persona 5 Royal. Both of these have amazing music in them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a huge month.
Mm-hmm.
Not a very conversation topic, just saying.
Yeah, yeah. I figured. I figured. No, I was just thinking about the League of Legends music. So they release promotional video or like a cinematic for every champion, and
Mm.
that's really the music there is really good.
Talking about cinematic trailers, Doom put one out where they use some sort of uh, mumble rap trailer. It just got downvoted to hell because everyone's like Doom is metal, supposed to have
Mumble
hard
rap.
rock and heavy metal there. Yeah,
Have you heard
they
of this
had
band called Ghost?
obviously
Yes. Have you? I mean,
no
have you
because
seen the contrast between the way they present themselves and the kind of music that they do? Have you noticed that?
yeah, sort of yeah, but like there's been a huge change, right? Recently with the head guy leaving, and then there's some
Oh, right. No,
Some
I just
new guy
started
came up
listening to
with.
Ghost. I mean, I saw a couple of memes on the internet. I was like, right, I'm going to listen to this band now.
What band do they sound like? If if
Mm,
if someone was looking at Ghost and was like, I want to try and start listening to them.
Metal ABBA.
Metal opera.
ABBA,
Nice.
ABBA, the Swedish band.
Metal ABBA. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
they're all like harmonic and everything, and then there is also
Hmm.
like very insane drumming going on in the background. Or have you
Ah.
heard of
Cool.
this? Have you heard of that Africa guy, Toto?
Toto. Yeah. Obviously. Dude,
Yes. Have you heard "Hold the
Toto is
Line"?
like, yeah,
Yeah, I think
like
if I was
any
to describe
song
Ghost
in a.
with a song,
Huh.
it would be "Hold the Line."
Oh. So Ghost makes songs like that.
Not like
Or.
that, but it kind of reminds me of that.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Cool. Fun fact about ABBA though,
Mm-hmm.
ABBA, the musicians, they didn't know how to speak or read English. They just
Ah,
wrote the lyrics in Swedish and they just sang it as is.
oh,
So
that's actually very interesting.
all the English songs, they did not know English at all.
Hmm.
They just sang it.
I did not know about this at all.
Yeah, and it's like amazing thing about ABBA, like because their pronunciation is like really good, but
Yeah.
they didn't know English at all. It's just amazing.
Hmm. That's actually
And
very
I think,
interesting.
yeah, I think most 90s pop bands were like really cool. And there was this documentary I was watching, which I think kind of segues nicely into our next point,
Mm-hmm.
which was talking about the roots of pop music. And they
Mm-hmm.
were kind of saying how pop music kind of started off the rock revolution, which then started off the metal revolution, which then kind of broke off into heavy metal, death metal, then came nu metal and everything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
most of the music we listen to originally started with pop.
Right. That's actually, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Mm.
Hmm.
How about you? What have you been watching recently?
Um, I've been listening to a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers and
Nice.
Aha for once.
Aha.
Yeah. Have you
I've
heard of
heard
the
that name.
George Michael that "Take on Me
Oh
Back"?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, them.
Have you heard their live version of the same song?
As a fundraiser thing.
I'm not sure if it was a fundraiser thing, but they basically do like a slower version of it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, the MTV version, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard
these
that.
guys are
I've
like
heard
a
that.
lot older. It's so cool.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's nice.
Who's your favorite like older artist, like 50s, 60s, 70s?
Mm, I think I'd have to say the Beatles.
The Beatles. Nice.
Yes. What about
Why
you?
me? Uh, quite a few. Dolly Parton. Was she in the 70s,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Like her voice again was like so unique for the time being at least.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a woman called Nina Simone, and she
Yeah, I've
would
heard
kind
her.
of do like these. So she would kind of be in charge of these like dive bar sessions where she would play the piano, but she would kind of build music around that.
Mm-hmm.
And her music is very interesting, but really trippy as well. And the way that
Mm-hmm.
she like sort of built her songs are, like really interesting to listen to.
Right. Right.
Which band are you looking at, like to deep dive or to listen to next?
Um, I'm not really sure. Ooh, I actually have no clue on what band. I think Slipknot.
Slipknot,
Mm-hmm.
like a proper like deep dive,
Yes.
listen to every single song there is,
Yes.
that type.
Yes.
Nice. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are in for a treat. Slipknot's journey
I've
throughout the
realized.
album is
I've
insane.
realized. So we're wrapping up this episode right now. And if you want to see something on the podcast, or if you want to tell us about a band or an artist you've been listening to, write to us or let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll get back to you on the next episode of the Basic Treble podcast.